So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hello, listeners. My name is Jonathan Dunwoody, and I own Minuteman Press. We are a full-service print shop that is locally owned and operated. I have personally been handling direct mail for over 17 years and have a great relationship with the USPS. We are the only print shop in the area that is listed as a print provider on their website and the only printing franchise that can use their logo as our partner on marketing materials. We can help from conception to design, print, and delivery to the post office. And with our easy, secure online payment option, you don't even need to leave your office. Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. We're going to be quite warm, temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s, but it's also going to be on the humid end of the spectrum. I anticipate that heat indices are going to be somewhere in the low and mid 90s. Maybe an isolated shower Thursday afternoon, but it does look like the vast majority of us are going to be dry. Staying dry as we head into the overnight, early into your Friday morning. We are going to be warm, temperatures only dropping into the upper 60s and lower 70s. A mostly cloudy sky Friday afternoon, temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hold your block until the whistle blows.
From SEC Media Days to the National Championship Game.
This was a great team win.
We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hello, welcome back into the Blitz here live from the Yard House at the Battery in Atlanta. Looking forward to some Braves baseball you'll be able to listen to here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Enjoying the sights of this beautiful place. And I got to say, this is the one thing I feel like Huntsville's missing, but it's getting built up right now at the Trash Pandas.
Well, we've done a number of shows over there, from Toyota Field, and it's outstanding. But look, it's not Major League Baseball. You know what I mean?
You don't get a 5-story, ballpark and all that. But again,
now they are building up the area around Toyota Field, with Town Madison. That's absolutely tremendous.
Hotels,
as well,
ballpark,
and even those listening in Winchester, on WCDT. I mean, it's easy to get there to the stadium. It's an hour, from there as well. So it's kind of really cool for the region. Yeah,
it's also easy for you guys to get in on the programming. Well, whether you're listening up in Tennessee or in the Huntsville area, 256-576-97.7. You're going to get the hang of it. See, Steve, Brian, Joe, they all just kind of fall right into place. That's why I'm setting you up for it, because you got to get acquainted with what this show is all about. Now, last year when we were at the Braves game, I wore jeans.
Yeah.
I wore like a long sleeve. Like, I was not prepped for it. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't good.
Thankfully, there were holes in the jeans.
Yeah.
So I got like a little tan.
We're wearing shorts.
This time, we both got shorts on. I got a very flowy shirt. I also have
you in Hawaiian.
5 different shirts in there that I was thinking about going.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, multiple shirts.
So I might be wearing maybe a baseball type of jersey thing. I might be wearing a white shirt that's a little bit more flowy.
Well, that's why people might be wondering, why are you wearing Middle Tennessee Blue Raider?
I was a little bit confused about that. After you were coming out of the bathroom, I actually noticed it.
I get the Middle Tennessee Blue Raider gear on. Well, because this is the lightest, whitest shirt I've got, and it's supposed to be in the mid 80s.
Yeah.
For the game, and I'm not sure where we're sitting. We'll probably be facing it. If we're facing into the sun or whatever. Although it's supposed to be clouds in and out throughout. So this is a MTSU gear. It is logoed on the back with the Thom Abraham Show logo, because everything I have, including my underwear, is logoed. You know what I mean, with the Thom Abraham Show Bulldog logo. My underwear, or wherever.
I didn't know undies. Do they embroider it, or
it's embroidered on the undies.
Oh,
yeah. It's a little rough sometimes. Yeah, it gets a little bit crazy. But this is gear I got left over from back. I was on their broadcast team for 5 years. As you know.
I remember, man. It was whenever they were playing Maryland, and they were actually putting up
Maryland.
They were putting up competition against Maryland. I remember Maryland coming into.
They gave Mississippi State a heck of a game.
Yeah.
There, at Mississippi State actually went to Murfreesboro, and they played them there. And
you don't see that often.
There's no reason why MTSU can't be like some other group of 5 schools that are very, very competitive.
Coastal Carolina, Appalachian State. I feel like
they've
those
had
two
those
teams.
runs. Well, what about even Boise State? I mean,
Boise
they're, of course, now they're Big 12, which is really a group of 5 conference as well. You know what I'm saying? But
Did Boise State make the transition?
isn't Boise State in the Big 12?
I don't think they are. No, they're not.
Boise State's still in the Mountain West.
They feel like they're in the Mountain
even-
West. It's hard to keep up with them.
Steve, is Boise State still in the Mountain West? I thought they went to the
That's
12.
next year.
Oh, they do go.
They're going to be transitioning into the Big 12.
So they are going. Are they going to the Big 12? Or they going to the Pac?
No, they're going to the Big 12.
Pac-12. They go to the Big 12, Steve.
They fit.
I believe Big 12, but I'll.
That's what I thought.
That's where they fit. Well, either way, we know who we know who's
in
in
the Pac-12 is where they fit.
You know what conference we know who's in it? The SEC,
Yeah.
of course. Even with the additions of Texas and Oklahoma, those are big brands.
Yeah.
We're not going to forget that. Unlike UCLA and USC going to the Big Ten. Oh, I
Stupid.
keep forgetting
Yeah.
about that. But yeah, we got this whole thing set up.
Well,
9 games possibly.
it's coming. It's coming. It's going to come probably with the 2026 season.
Everybody
with
wants
the
to see it.
extended playoff, and the 9-game schedule. The math for the 9-game schedule is really, really good. With a 16-team conference. Now the question is, does the SEC stay at 16? Because the Big Ten has 18, and they're doing this deal right now where the SEC and the Big Ten are pretty much demanding 4 spots in the playoff. And if you're the Big Ten, you got to say, well, why do you get 4 out of 16? We get 4 out of 18. I really do believe at some point in time, maybe not before my radio career ends in February of 2028. Something I already given West.
2027.
No, 2028.
Okay,
I gave West. No, you guys are all hoping it's 27. It's not. It's 28. I told West February of 28.
Write that down, Steve. Write
after
that down.
the Super Bowl, week after the Super Bowl, 28. That's what I'm doing my last show. Anyway,
dog.
the dog. So I don't know if it happened by then, but at some point in time, the SEC is going to get to 18. To be honest with you, I would not be surprised if within 5 to 8 years that the SEC and the Big Ten each had 20, and we're split in 2 that way. But at 16, a 9-game schedule makes great sense if you have 3 permanent teams on your schedule. So do the math, right? So there's 15 opponents, all right? 3 of them are permanent opponents.
Mm-hmm.
So that leaves 12, and that's the other 6 games you play in a rotating basis. Every 2 years, you see everybody.
And you still have
you
room
play everybody.
for some of those POS teams as well. So, look, you don't have
There's
to have as
9,
many.
and then you got to have one against at least, because the rule is now you got to have one against
Sunbelt.
another conference.
I think the Sunbelt.
No,
the whole
not the
thing's going on right now.
They don't have a Sunbelt thing,
No,
but
they
they have a bunch of ACC games this year. But you have you play 9 conference games. You play at least one non-conference Power 4 team. It really should be SEC Big Ten Power 2 team. Play that game, and then you still have room for 2 JV games if you want to have 2 cupcake games. Now I'm with Nick Saban and a couple of others that have said I think Power 4 should play just Power 4. I really do, and I know that you say that the Group of 5 schools and even the FCS schools that they play, they should never play an FCS school, but those schools need that money. They need that guaranteed $900,000, $1 million, $1.4 million check. They need that money. But here's what I say. Give them the money anyway. Just don't play the game. You know what I mean? I think that you should be revenue sharing in college football to a certain extent where all of the schools in a Group of 5 should benefit from some way. But don't make me, Joe Fan, go have to see you play, some Mercer. I don't need to be jacked up for a $40 ticket or whatever it costs to go see you play Mercer. That ain't right. It just ain't right.
For that instance and for what you're saying, I think there should be at least one game on there. And I say this just because in the preseason, nobody wants to watch the preseason games.
Well,
Half
then
the times they're not
one
too
would
crazy.
be the max. One and it should be early.
Perfect, because then you can pay a team, still play the game, and there's also the opportunity for a team to still get upset. And
I hate the JV games the week before the Iron Bowl. You know what I mean?
Those are bad.
That.
Middle of the season, end of the season.
End of the season. We're sitting there, we're on a roll. Yeah. We're gonna get rivalry weekend, and now this week they're playing Nickel State. Yeah. I would get out of here with that game.
Was it Michigan versus Appalachian State? Wasn't that one at the end of the season?
No, it wasn't.
Or
It was
that
early.
the beginning?
It was in the beginning of the season.
I get that one mixed up with one of the later down the road matchups.
Guys,
but yeah.
I was wrong. It is the Pac-12. Boise State has has accepted an invitation into the Pac-12 beginning in 26.
So they're one of 5 state schools.
They're still going to be
that are going to join Oregon State and Washington State. So, Steve, I think right now they're still looking for you have to have 8 teams minimum to be considered to get the revenue sharing and to get an automatic berth into the college football playoff. So the Pac-12 is still going to have to get another school. But right now, if you look at the 7 schools that are committed for the Pac-12 next year, they're all state schools. You know, I mean, the Pac-12 used to be a place where you had schools of, some had some juice like Cal and Stanford, some big private schools, UCLA, USC, and so on. Now they're all state schools. Every single one of them is a state school. So they're looking for one more team to make that happen.
They got Colorado State, Utah State, Boise State, Gonzaga, Washington State,
Gonzaga for basketball.
Yeah. So there you go.
So they have, so that's a private school.
Let's look at this list.
Well,
permanent teams here.
I need to ask you first, when is the next break? Because since you're staying on time,
40-45.
40
or 45.
Oh, somewhere in there.
This is a big old.
10 minutes.
We got time to breathe and get in some phone calls as well. 256-576. 97.7. Who's gonna get it first?
Bingo.
All right. Yeah, we got it in. All right, so if in fact then the SEC is going to go to this 9-game schedule, the conference did work out who would be the permanent teams, but it was never released. Now we're lucky in a way. We are going to have Stephen West, and by we I mean 97.7 ESPN The Zone in Huntsville. We'll have Stephen West at the SEC spring meetings next week, or not the following week, the Memorial Day, day after Memorial Day. They will be there.
Definitely not vacation.
This has to be a question. Steve, this has to be a topic, right? 9-game schedule.
It is. In fact, Commissioner Sankey spoke about it yesterday and mentioned about what the playoff committee already did in that first round. So I'm really intrigued to see what he has to say on the future of that. We had David Cutcliffe on earlier in the week as well, and he is not a proponent of it. And if anything, the committee all showed us last year that we should probably be playing 7 conference games, not 8.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. You know what? You're playing the best conference, so be it. And if they get the guaranteed spots, to me, I think it should be 3 guaranteed spots, not 4. But, you're SEC. Let the committee decide, once. You could say that. What happened to Tennessee? They went to Ohio State and got their knobs whaled.
Yeah. I mean, if you take a look at the final rankings, though, Tom, Tennessee should have been hosting. They went from hosting to being on the road. Texas went from getting a bye, getting a bye, to hosting a game. So the committee really didn't do the SEC anything.
That would be another question.
Yeah, but it would be better if the SEC went on and went to Ohio State and at least were competitive.
Instead of having a conference team, the top conference team hosting, I think it should be the top teams hosting. I don't think it should be the top conference teams.
Well, I think they're going to get rid of that.
I think they're very much should.
I also think we'll get. I think ultimately we'll get I think we'll get a 16-team deal, and it won't be a bye, and we'll get the whole all 8 will be hosted.
That'll definitely be what I like.
All right, so to the topic, though, of this, the part of the formula was you'd have these 3 potential annual opponents for each school. Okay. The SEC never released the list, but it was leaked to certain members of the media, and one of them was The Athletic, and they got their hands on it. So let's start at the top, alphabetically, with Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Alabama's 3 permanent opponents would be Auburn, LSU, and Tennessee. Now, so first of all, obviously you're going to have Iron Bowl, but LSU and Tennessee. Now, this is the thing. This creates a little bit of imbalance because for Alabama, all right, that makes it. That's 3 good games. I mean, the Iron Bowl is always a shootout. One way or the other. LSU and Tennessee.
5 years ago, this would not have been the case. 5 years ago, that would have not have been the case. Right. Auburn wasn't playing. Well,
but they were still beating Alabama every third year.
Oh, yeah. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, they actually did. Tennessee, on the other hand, was not. LSU, that was the only competitive game.
Tennessee is, remember, the Alabama-Tennessee series is very streaky.
Understandable.
The Alabama, I mean, there's times when Tennessee's won 7, 8, 9 in a row, and Alabama wins 15 in a row. You know, it's a streaky series.
But in 2025, I think those three teams, very competitive, really just focused on LSU.
And this will be going
Tennessee.
forward. Auburn, they're 3.
You skipped Arkansas, by the way.
I know, but I wanted to jump right to Auburn because, it's Auburn. Auburn, of course, would have the Iron Bowl. Georgia. It's the Deep South's oldest rivalry.
It's been a good one every time. In Auburn, it's amazing.
It often has been, Georgia's dominated it, in the last few years, but everybody's dominating Auburn.
Surprisingly, though, Auburn's able to keep up with Georgia more than I even thought they would.
And then Vandy would be their other one. All right.
That's in balance.
So that gives them a little bit of balance. But Auburn fan is like, why do we got to play Georgia every year? Why do we got to play Alabama and Georgia every year? You know you're going to play Alabama every year. But you're also playing Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to what they're doing there. Clark Lee has got that team obviously playing very scrappy football. I think they're going to be decent again this year. And but historically not a top tier team in the SEC.
But here's the thing, though. Whenever Vanderbilt, if ever Vanderbilt starts getting on their horse, I mean, do you see them adjusting it every 5 years, every 6 years? Then exactly.
No,
we don't know exactly who's going to be good in 5 years.
This is the way it would be.
Okay.
This is the way it would be. Tennessee would have Alabama, right? Because that's a border where you got to play that game. But they'd also have South Carolina and Vandy. Well, Tennessee and Vandy have to play.
They do.
That's an in-state rivalry, so they have to play. But Tennessee, the Alabama game is tough. But South Carolina, they have their little run every once in a while. But South Carolina, that's not a brutal game. And Vanderbilt, it's not a brutal game. So I don't think that's too bad.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are giving a little bit too much credit to this South Carolina team. They're thinking they're going to be a lot better than they actually will be
this year. No, South Carolina's got a quarterback this year that is as good as anybody in the league, almost.
That could be the case.
He might be the third or fourth best quarterback in the league.
I'm not seeing this team surprising anybody. I think it's going to be similar to last year, where it's just going to be an 8-9 win team, and that's very good for this team. But I don't think this is going to be a playoff team, and I think they will lose the game.
No, they're not a playoff team. They're a 5-3 team in the SEC.
The only time they're going to surprise somebody is whenever they lose to somebody who's not as good as them before the season starts.
All right, who else you want? Georgia. How about Georgia?
Give me it.
Georgia, Auburn. Got to have it. Deep South, long sprint rivalry. Florida, got to have a cocktail party. Got to have the cocktail party.
That's a good one.
And Kentucky. That's not bad.
Equals out.
A little bit of comic relief there with Kentucky.
I don't think there's anybody who's really too tough, but it's Georgia we're talking about. This is a team that has been dominating college football for the last few years. You got to put, an Alabama to equal that one out. But again, Auburn, Florida, Kentucky. Florida might be good one year. Auburn might be decent another year. Kentucky's always going to be bad.
Florida would have Georgia, which they need to have, obviously we said that cocktail party. Oklahoma and South Carolina.
Do we say Oklahoma is more of a win than South Carolina?
I think Florida and Oklahoma are very much at the same spot right now. Yeah. I think right now, they both have wonderful history. They both have the ability to be great, and they're both down a little bit. But I think Florida and Oklahoma are in the same place. But somebody has to, the two new schools. So for Texas, obviously Texas and Oklahoma have to play each other. Right, Red River shootout. They call it. They don't call that one. They don't call shootout. Right, that's what that is. That's a Red River shootout.
We don't want to get canceled.
Party.
Right?
It's a shootout. I am not woke when it comes to my rivalry nicknames. All right, so you got Texas and Oklahoma, Texas and Arkansas, which is that's a great rivalry as well. Texas Arkansas, and then Texas A&M. You can make the.
That might
you
be
can make the case that that's the toughest schedule right now.
I also think those are the best matchups. Obviously Alabama, LSU. That whole lineup is great, but for Texas, that right there seems like the most fun to watch, and that's. I think it's all even, except for, of course, if Oklahoma is the same way they were last year, it just won't work out as well.
Ole Miss, I think, catches a little bit of a break. Of course, they're on a good run right now, but they catch a little bit of a break, I think. Ole Miss would have Arkansas.
I like them.
Which has been down, but they have Arkansas. And they would have LSU. That's their tough one. But they play for no, they don't play for anything. And then there's Mississippi State. You got to play the Egg Bowl. So they got the Egg Bowl, Arkansas, and LSU. I think Ole Miss is favorable for Ole Miss. I think that's 2 out of 3 for Ole Miss, one way or the other. Every time you go around.
Ole Miss is definitely one of those teams I hold above. Similar to LSU, though, where it's just like they are always going to be competitive. I mean, even if they got a new quarterback, I mean, Simmons is going to be decent. I like what I've seen from him so far, even though he's not started a game yet. But, I mean, he looks like Tua Tagovailoa, and he's also, a little bit healthier than Tua Tagovailoa. So
Now, I think that LSU got a tough road to hoe. We just said they got Ole Miss. All right. Their other 2 games, of course, Alabama. We said earlier Alabama. So they're playing Alabama every year. And then they would play Texas A&M every year. So Texas A&M, Alabama, and Ole Miss for LSU. That's not bad. But what's missing? What's missing
from LSU?
Grasshopper, from LSU? I mean,
Georgia.
No. Rivalry game. We lost. I think we lost a little bit of a rivalry game.
Which one?
Arkansas. They played for the boot.
Oh.
Steve, they play for a trophy, right? I mean, they play for the boot.
Trophy.
That's a big trophy. That's our buddy from Arkansas that is, that developed that trophy game, and that's a border state thing. I don't know. You don't feel bad about losing Arkansas LSU?
There's some rivalries that can't be taken away from us, but there's other rivalries, and if I'm an LSU fan, I might be thinking differently. But there's other rivalry games that you're gonna forget that it died out slowly without anybody saying anything. So
that's the only
one. These are leaked, right? This isn't anything official, right?
This isn't official. This is, if in fact, I'll tell you another one that we lost. Kentucky has Georgia, Mississippi State in South Carolina.
You just get stung.
Something bit me just now there. And I think it died, but it got me.
It might have been a bee if it died.
Yeah, I think it bit the big dog.
I thought the big dog bite.
Something bit me. Are we prepared to give up Kentucky, Tennessee?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, man, are you kidding me? They play. No, I agree with Steve. No, Kentucky, Tennessee is not. That to me is a big. They play for a barrel of. They used to play for the barrel of beer. You can't do that anymore.
It's a barrel of oats,
barrel of whiskey. I mean, that's bourbon versus. That was bourbon versus Kentucky. Kentucky bourbon versus Tennessee whiskey.
I'll take it on the court. I don't need it on the football field.
I need it on the football field.
I don't need it. You give me
they would play every other year.
Yeah,
but I don't.
Then that's good enough for me.
No,
that's all right because it takes Kentucky 2 years to maybe change up their team to be relevant.
Yeah, but Tennessee, Kentucky. Now, Tennessee fan will say, "Look, we beat them like 26 years in a row." Right? They did have that run, but Kentucky's been competitive since. But I think Tennessee is.
You're thinking about the Ray Davis Kentucky from 2 years ago.
No, I'm thinking Kentucky. I'm thinking about the barrel of whiskey. Or the barrel of,
you're going back.
No, it was Steve. I think it was the barrel of beer. I know that it was the whiskey versus bourbon game, but I think the actual trophy was the barrel of beer.
They can't stand each other.
Oh, they can't stand each other.
I know they hate each other. My roommate's a Tennessee fan. He says there's 2 teams that I hate more than Alabama, Georgia, and Kentucky. And I agree. I would definitely see that. But at the same time, the team that has been causing you the more havoc has been Alabama. Even though you hate Kentucky, Alabama's been that team that's been giving you the struggles for the longest time, and now it's one of the best rivalries of watching on the field.
I thought the chef was going to come over and see us. Was he going to come over or no?
You guys are barking about food too?
Yeah, no, I think he was actually going to come and see us to come on the air, not bring us food, but to come on the air. But I don't know. I see Scott and Drew and Brandon sitting over there. Do they have menus in front of them?
No, they're ordering food. They're
ordering chow.
Course meal, I bet.
Yeah. I might have to go down that path.
Brandon, hey, are you guys getting stuff?
You eating food now? All right, good job by you guys. I think the chef was. Scott said the chef was. Scott, was it you that said the chef was coming over to see us?
No, there was the lady that.
Oh, was one of the waitresses?
One of the waitresses. Yeah.
I thought the chef was coming over, but I don't know. I guess not. Okay. All right. Do you want to get your break in now, Skippy?
Yeah, we'll get a break. Let's
see if anybody wants to comment on this list. Do they like the idea of 3 permanent games and 6 rotating games,
or just go willy nilly? Or the SEC could just go willy nilly and everybody can play everybody.
And then would you rather see? I'll throw another question out there. Would you rather see the SEC have an SEC Big Ten challenge or an SEC ACC challenge? Because you already have Florida State. You have Clemson, South Carolina, Georgia Tech. So we have some of those already. Would you like to see something like that, or would you like to see him pair off with the Big Ten?
Well, that
I
question
saw
is
Brandon Marcello put this out yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, Tom. Of the challenge games where this in advanced scheduling is starting to that the conversation of making things more relevant of kind of an NFL, be it between the SEC and the Big Ten of challenge games. I know it doesn't match up right now in terms of
when do you challenge them?
But challenge games.
When do you challenge them?
In other words, the top seed takes on the top seed, the 2 seed takes on the 2 seed, and so on and so forth.
From the year before? Or
yes, from the year before.
From the year before. See, that's the one thing with college is it's such a different scenario. But, so we would have like Georgia would be playing Ohio State. In a way you go.
Yeah, I'd go from the best to the worst. Either way, you guys could join in and get your opinions in on the subject. 256.
And we'll have a scoreboard update from
576
4
97.7. There's only 1-4 in there, but we do have a little bit of the PGA Championship to get into before we head on into our second hour, where RJ White will be with Sportsline.com. So let's take a break. We'll be right back here on the Blitz.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Alabama baseball today on the road to the Florida Gators. The Gators are 23-3 in their last 26 meetings with the Crimson Tide. Game 1 of the weekend series. Florida $2.20 favorite today in Gainesville, Alabama. Plus 170 on the money line. Auburn and Ole Miss, both teams minus 115 on the money line. South Alabama, a $2 dog at ULM, plus 154. Troy, another 14 home dog against Southern Miss. The Golden Eagles, another 45 road favorite. At Jacksonville State, plus 240 on the road at Western Kentucky, minus 330. Atlanta Braves today, $2.25 home favorite against the National. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
You've seen those beautiful epoxy floors in a garage or carport area and have probably wondered, how can I get that done? Well, the answer is Lifetime Epoxy Floors. Lifetime Epoxy Floors is an A-plus rated business with the Better Business Bureau and has been family-owned for over 14 years. They do both residential and commercial applications and get most jobs done in a day. Lifetime Epoxy Floors' motto is, we love what we do, and it shows. Visit LifetimeEpoxyFloors.com to schedule a free estimate today and check them out on Facebook.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Flying nonstop from Huntsville is a breeze on Breeze Airways. They're nice people flying nice people to nice places on really nice planes. Let's be direct. Nonstop from Huntsville to the places you want to go. Las Vegas, Orlando, or Tampa starting at $49. It's time for a weekend getaway or a long overdue week away. Time to check in using the convenient Breeze app and check out. What are you waiting for? Book today at flybreeze.com. That's flybreeze.com. Breeze Airways. Seriously nice.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. We're going to be quite warm, temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s, but it's also going to be on the humid end of the spectrum. I anticipate that heat indices are going to be somewhere in the low and mid 90s. Maybe an isolated shower Thursday afternoon, but it does look like the vast majority of us are going to be dry. Staying dry as we head into the overnight, early into your Friday morning. We are going to be warm, temperatures only dropping into the upper 60s and lower 70s. A mostly cloudy sky Friday afternoon, temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Attention, may I have the camp's attention?
Your home of the college football playoffs.
Playoffs?
Is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Playoffs?
The following is a presentation of TBS Sports. Exclusively on Superstation TBS. Superstation TBS presents the Atlanta Braves, America's team. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beer. This Bud for you.
Golly, that's good. Tom, you'll get a throwback from this one as well.
By Edward Drugs, America's family drugstore.
I mean, this is what it's coming down to. And now I can't even hear it because I was about to.
Why are we hearing the open for the Braves?
Exactly. It's Steve. Steve, you want a little bit of nostalgia?
Oh, Steve was giving some fun with us.
But now I can't hear it because I was about to tell you. They were bringing out the band. They had the drills, the instruments, all these things that race each other at the.
Now we can hear it.
At the back line, but yeah, now we got another show going on while we're doing the Blitz here live. There it is. There it is.
We'll have a little of that today. There, it's a little of that last night, blowing a 4-1 lead. Goodness gracious almighty.
Don't tell Steve that.
You know, it got ugly in the 8th. This is why I bought the app, right? I mean, I'm paying more for the FanDuel app to watch Braves games and Preds games than I pay for MLB.TV. I have the MLB extra innings, and it costs $169 for the year. I'm paying $21 a month to have FanDuel TV so I can watch the Braves blow a lead in the 8th inning last night and then not be able to score with guys on third base with nobody out and not be able to get them home.
Yeah. It's about what I pay for my subscription that gets me every single type of sport. Now,
well, what am I doing? I mean, you guys are doing all this illegal stuff.
It's not illegal.
I think it is
questionable.
It's not. It's that thing that you guys have is some sort of piracy.
It's the same as getting Windows 11 on your computer with a discount code.
I made it to no.
It's the same thing.
It's if you what is it called, Kubi?
No, I'm not telling you.
Tell you or
no.
If you go to and you ask the Google machine, is this legit? It says that it's piracy.
No, it's unethical.
No, it's illegal. All right, it's illegal. I made a decision in 1994 that I was not going to do illegal stuff anymore. Okay, I haven't broken the law since 1994.
You're a good guy.
I'm on a streak.
He's clean.
Strategy, Cotton. Let's get the page on for him.
Either way, give us. We got an update. Okay.
Ryan Fox. Who the heck is Ryan Fox?
I have no idea. One of those young bucks, I think.
Australian Ryan Fox.
There you go.
Is leading the PGA championship. He is 4 under as we speak, and he is on 14, but he is playing a course backwards. So, but he's through his 14th hole. Luke Donald is at 3 under. David Puig is at 3 under. Alex Noren and Alex Smalley and Nico Echeverria are all at 3 under, as is Rasmus Hoggood. I mean, this thing, there isn't an American flag on here until you get to Max Grazeman, and we don't know who any of these people are. Keegan Bradley, we know who he is. He's -3. Sam Burns -3. Justin Lauer -3. So all those guys at -3. John Rahm is at -2 through 9 holes. Let's see, who else do we know that is on the leaderboard so far? Scotty Scheffler is even through 8. He is one of the favorites, if not the favorite, in this thing. It's amazing that Rory McIlroy is not the favorite. He's won 4 tournaments at that golf course. Jason Day is 1 over. Rory McIlroy is 1 over through 8. So Rory McIlroy is on the course, and he's off to a tough start. You're going to have to, Steve's going to have to tell you when the break is coming. You'll no idea. You hear hard break.
I think
he said 1 minute.
Yeah,
so at least we know that.
He's
helping us out.
He's also playing something else. I think there's other music going on.
No, that's here.
No, he's playing the Masters music.
Oh, he's playing the Masters thing. Okay, good job by you. All right, so he's playing the Masters thing for Thank you.
No, we got this crowd.
It was the PGA Championship.
This crowd just totally showed up in the last, I would say, 20 minutes.
Lee Hodges, local boy, North Alabama, 1 over through 8 holes.
I'm just going to take a look. You keep that up.
Ricky Fowler is 2 over through 11. It's a tradition like no other. Xander Schauffele is 2 over. Padre Harrington is 3 over. Phil Mickelson is 3 over through 10. Grabbing other names, Brooks Koepka is 4 over through 11. Brooks Koepka. Martin Keimer, 5 over.
Yeah, these kids will come back.
Now, Justin Thomas from Alabama, who won the last time they had the PGA there at Quail Hollow, is not on the course yet. He'll be in the afternoon deal. Jordan Spieth as well is in the afternoon.
Who you got favorite in this thing, though?
Is in the afternoon.
Do you think it's just anybody?
It should be Roy, but he's already, he's 2 over. I mean, he's not off to a good start.
No.
So,
Either way, we'll see how it turns out. It's similar to the baseball season. That first day, not going to really do much. You can come back. After a while. It's all good. Either way, we are live here at the Yard House here at the Battery in Atlanta. We got 1 whole hour left. John Abraham, Thom Abraham. It's the Abraham Show here on the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. ESPN Winchester. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be back here on 97.7.
Football season and Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. The perfect combination of good times and great food. This season, score big with one of our chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness. Our delicious burgers are made with premium Angus beef, and you can pair it with one of our signature cocktails or a cold craft beer from our huge selection. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and our new location at Cliff Farm, Highway 72 in Madison. Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. If any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today, 256-208-9000, 256-208-9000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up and temperatures going down right now, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bad compressor, a leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490. AL certain number 21014.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Alabama baseball today on the road to the Florida Gators. The Gators are 23-3 in their last 26 meetings with the Crimson Tide. Game one of the weekend series. Florida $2.20 favorite today in Gainesville, Alabama. Plus 170 on the money line. Auburn and Ole Miss, both teams minus 115 on the money line. South Alabama, a $2 dog at ULM, plus 154. Troy, another 14 home dog against Southern Miss. The Golden Eagles, another 45 road favorite. At Jacksonville State, plus 240 on the road at Western Kentucky, minus 330. Atlanta Braves today, $2.25 home favorite against the National. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Now it's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update, presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250 plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Braves drop game 3 to the Nationals 5-4. I'm Barrett Salee, and this is your Braves Radio Network morning update.
Get clean car happy all season long at Tidal Wave with exclusive membership discounts, giveaways, and more. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com/Braves for more information.
The Nationals score 2 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and top the Braves in dramatic fashion, 5-4. Bryce Elder had a fantastic game, goes 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. But 2 errors for the Braves ultimately cost the Braves the game and potentially the series. Of course, they will go for the series win tonight against those Washington Nationals. First pitch, early start at 12:15 Eastern time. Ben and Darren O'Day will have the call. Ford Leadoff Show coming at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You'll get A.J. Smith shopping for the Braves. He's 2-2. 2.76 ERA, 34 strikeouts, 15 walks, and a 135 whip. The Nationals will counter with Trevor Williams. He's 2-4. A 5.88 ERA, 34 strikeouts, 12 walks, and a 157 whip. You'll hear all of the action right here on the Braves Radio Network.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. We're going to be quite warm. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s, but it's also going to be on the humid end of the spectrum. I anticipate that heat indices are going to be somewhere in the low and mid 90s. Maybe an isolated shower Thursday afternoon, but it does look like the vast majority of us are going to be dry. Staying dry as we head into the overnight, early into your Friday morning. We are going to be warm. Temperatures only dropping into the upper 60s and lower 70s. A mostly cloudy sky Friday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Hello, welcome back in. Second hour, final hour, best hour of the Blitz. John Abraham here live at the Yard House at the Battery here in Atlanta, right next to the beautiful Truist Park, which now the fans are starting to funnel in. They're getting ready for Braves Nationals that you'll be able to listen to here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And joining me now, hopefully not getting decapitated by this amazing umbrella that has also its, negatives, is my friend Brandon Pilcher. Brandon, how you doing, man?
Man, I am having a fantastic day. You can't have a bad day at the Battery.
No doubt about it, man.
Especially on this porch here at Yard House. Probably the best restaurant down here.
Yeah.
It's live. It's lit. People everywhere. Bright sun, 97.7. It just doesn't get any better.
Oh, yeah, and we appreciate Pilcher's appraisals as well for getting us out here and enjoying a wonderful, wonderful day at the park. And I remember last year we were out here. We all got together. And I think the year before that as well. I mean, this is something that's kind of like a tradition that we're going through now.
The late day game in May is what we want to do and where we want to be. Come here. Maybe bring some listeners next year, but this is the spot. You see it all. You get to eat the food. I love this place. I love being here in these games before it gets too hot that you can enjoy it during the day. You guys can get over here and back in the same day.
Oh, yeah.
Had to sacrifice a little bit today. My Spring Garden girls are up 6-0 on Woodland. I got my girl Kristen Lewis, one of my favorite basketball players over there. She's feeding me updates left and right. And I got Heather McCain feeding me updates. So they need to win this one and one more to go tango with Hackleberg. And then they got to win two. So they got to win 4 games in one day.
Oh, yeah. A lot of work for them, but a lot of work for the Braves as well. Of course, they hit 500 just the other day. But then, of course, last night,
slip below.
A little bit of a slip in that game as well. 5-4, they fall to the Nationals. I mean, what have you seen from this Braves team that you've loved and hated from a fan's perspective that, it's all about the Braves?
I feel like the Braves are fighting to try to keep the bats hot, and they need Acuna back. You need your rotation of guys to do what it is that they do, and I just feel like they're a man down. I feel like they're 2 guys at a bar fight against 4 guys, and they're trying to hold their own, but they're just not making it happen the way you want it to. But I feel like when they get a certain number of these guys back, they're going to have enough to be over that hump. And staying 500 right now is helping for later in the season. You could have easily pulled a situation where, like some of these other teams, what was it, the White Sox that are 7-21?
The Rockies right now are the 7-2, but both of them are bad. So
yeah, but you could easily have just thrown your hands up and quit already. But this team has not quit.
No doubt.
They're bound and determined. They're going to fight on, and that's what you have to do during some of these times.
Yeah,
you just got to fight. You got to throw. I mean, we got the pitcher we talked about with the perm mullet, the eastbound and down. What's his name, Mason?
You're talking about does he have the beard too?
No, he's got the Fu Manchu and the long
Manchu.
Yeah,
it's a rotating bullpen right now.
They've thrown that guy in there. Yeah. And I think he started like 4 or 5 games last year. So, I mean, they're Band-Aiding it together, and they're still holding on at 500. I think they've done a heck of a job.
Yeah, and I think they're still looking forward to Ronald Acuna, and honestly, you still get some injuries, but you got a lot to look forward to. And this Braves team, they know that they're a good enough team to make a postseason run, and that's why I think they're still fighting. Whenever you see a team like the Rockies or you see a team like the White Sox, you know that they're not there. I think they know that they're not there. It's that mentality, and I think the Braves still have that winning mentality.
Yes.
And like the ad says plenty of times, they're going to show you what Braves country is all about. So after this show, is it like, a work trip? Like, is it a work party inside of there, or is it just like, a bunch of friends hanging out, a few brewskis, a little bit of
man, it's whatever.
ball?
It's whatever everybody wants it to be.
Okay.
This is the Big Day Out.
Gotcha.
They used to have a concert here in Atlanta called Big Day Out.
Really?
Well, this is 97.7 Big Day Out.
Okay,
we're going to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, I feel like if we keep doing this enough, I'm going to have to get a logo. We're going to have all the shows out here. We're going to have to just have something really fun.
Jonathan and the Darden people are so good to let us come back every year and just give us this prime spot.
Nice.
That I think it ought to be a yearly trip from now to forever.
No doubt about it. I agree, and I appreciate you, Brandon, as always, for everything you do. And, let's enjoy it, man. Let's enjoy it. So let's hop into the phone lines before we get into some of these schedule release videos. You said we got Jimmy or Jamie? Jimmy, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. I just wanted to call and give a shout out to the Deshler baseball team who won the 4A state championship yesterday.
All right. Who'd they play up against? I know that we were losing some of the teams in the area, but I know Deshler was still pushing past. Can you give us a little rundown of who they were going up against?
I'll be honest with you, I don't follow baseball, so I have no clue.
Who did Deshler beat? Boys, they would know. They know.
Yeah,
all
we got
that
to talk
stuff.
about
Who did
guys as
Deshler
well.
beat for the state championship? Is that what they won? They won the states?
Is that what you
They
said?
won the state. I just don't know who they beat.
Okay.
How
Well,
you
wait
gonna
a minute.
shout
You
them
call-
out?
I know. I'm going to for a shout out for Deshler because they won the state and you don't know who they won, who they played, who they beat.
Scott's scrambling for it as well while he's eating his
I'm
food.
surprised Scott didn't know that off the top of his head. I mean, between him and Drew,
who?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
they won 3 games.
It was
Oh,
Bibb
it's looking
County.
pretty good. Bibb County?
Bibb County. All right, Bibb County. It's Bibb County they beat. Okay. All right. First ever state championship.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
Oh, there
First
you go.
ever state title for Deshler.
Jimmy, that's a
over
good
Bibb
shout
County.
out right there, man. We just
Good
wish we knew
job.
all the details right out of the gates, but
Now,
it's
do you-
because we didn't either.
Do you live over there? Do you have a kid on the team? What is it that you know that made you want to give him a shout out?
I live there. I live in Tuscumbia, about 5 miles or 5 minutes from the stadium and stuff.
Okay.
So how are you consuming the show? Are you in the Huntsville area? Are you listening over the air or on the app?
I'm currently listening in a crane at work at 97.7 The Zone.
Nice, love it. Nice.
Oh,
Where are you
geez.
at? Are you in Huntsville downtown? Are you working on that project over there?
One of the 4 cranes. It's got to be one of the 4 cranes.
Are you in one of the 4 cranes on Clinton there, across from the arena?
No, I'm at the Decatur Steel Mill. Newport.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're big in Decatur.
Yeah.
So you can get us in Decatur. Now, how high is this? One of these cranes where you're on the cab is on the ground, and you're working the crane from down there, or is it a crane that you got to go all the way up in there? One of them aerial cranes.
200 feet up in the air.
No, I'm about 35 feet in the air right now, hauling about 2-3 tons of steel right now.
All right.
Oh, well, that helps with the
don't
signal, too.
Kill anybody. Yeah, you're being 35 feet in the air.
Yeah, all of a
Probably
sudden what we're doing feels very insignificant, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Well,
Why not? He's in a crane with how many? What do you say? 20 tons or 2 tons of steel? How much steel?
A lot of steel.
About 2 to 3 tons of steel in my grapple.
All right.
about as heavy as
Jeez,
you.
Don't drop it on anybody, will you? For God's sakes. That was not funny, man. All
right.
Thank
Jimmy,
y'all.
appreciate you,
All
man.
right, man.
Those are
Appreciate
bragging
you.
rights right there.
I hope they take care of them good over there. Because let me tell you something. Back in another life, I was a contractor.
Oh, yeah, you were.
And we had union operators on our heavy equipment. We had cranes and backhoes and things like that.
They had unions back then?
We had union. Of course, we had unions. Angelo Mesoraca, he was out of the union. I had to deal with that guy all the time. But anyway, our operators in the 80s, if you were running a backhoe, you were making $35 $40 an hour in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
If you were running a crane, you were making $40 an hour. So I hope that, what was his name, the caller?
Jimmy.
Yeah, I hope Jimmy running the crane in Decatur, I hope they're taking care of him. I hope he's not running a crane for $18 an hour or something.
No, if you can handle the fear of heights, I think you're getting paid pretty good money. So good for Jimmy.
That's great.
And he got some bragging rights as well with his team, the Deschler, winning the state championship against Bibb County. Either way, I wanted to start talking about some of these schedule release videos just to knock it out, get it out of the way.
You do that with RJ. Isn't that his
we were talking lines with him. We were about to talk lines and just what he's seen from the teams this offseason. But it is so hot out here.
You don't get the music he's playing, do you? You don't get the you're not getting it, do you?
No, actually, I don't.
Is
that yours right there? Or is that ours?
He's just showing us what a bacon burger looks like. Here, put it in front of the camera.
Yeah.
That's the theme from The Sopranos. That's what he was.
Oh, no, I haven't watched The Sopranos.
You haven't seen The Sopranos?
No, you didn't.
Really?
You were just showing me The Godfather 1,000 times.
Yeah, well, The Godfather is more authentic. The Sopranos.
Thank you.
The Sopranos is offensive to a lot of Italians, and I'll tell you why. Those guys were idiots. They would have never lasted like 3 months. And it was a stereotype that was so far over the top. They were all knuckleheads. That crew would have been wiped out in a period of months. They would have never lasted as long as that they lasted. And that's why. And it was like, come on. I mean, it was so stereotypical that most Italians really didn't like it. A lot of Italian people did not like the depiction of the Italians in The Sopranos.
Did you order this?
No, I ordered us. Nope. That's what I ordered us right there.
Okay.
That's what we're eating right there.
I thought it was all him. I thought it was all for him, but okay. The Yard House.
They proceed the Irishman.
Huh?
How is the
Something about ketchup?
Oh, the Irishman?
I'll be fine with that.
So clearly I'm
Thank
eating
you.
the host right now because they're just doing nothing
we're
but
eating.
eating right now.
We're
Perfect. I don't know what Brandon gave me. Thank you very much.
I ordered that. I ordered this. These are chicken tenders. Those who are watching on WZZN TV, they're chicken tenders. They look like nuggets. And then these are some kind of garlic Parmesan fries.
Oh, those are great.
Those onion rings are spectacular.
The onion rings are. Hey,
I'm going to full
if you
moon
want to create an
barbecue
onion ring or
soon.
two, you can get a little bit of these Parmesan. Do they have these at Full Moon?
I don't think they have the Parmesan fries, but I'm going to go brisket sandwich today.
Wow.
This show's been off the rails, but it's fine because we're not even in Huntsville, so that's how off the rails we are. We're at the Yard House at the Battery. We might as well take a break.
See, dudes can handle other dudes' food. Wait a minute. I thought we were onion ring on it too. Yeah.
But we'll take a break. When we get back,
that was chicks. You'd get a fork and you'd like scoop them up with a fork and give them. But they're dudes, so we just give it to them with our fingers.
Fingers for the chicken man.
Oh, they're throwing T-shirts. Yeah, take it to break.
Right.
We'll be back. We got
T-shirt.
RJ White's going to be hopping on with us when we get back from sportsline.com. Help us out with some lines. I don't know.
I need to keep this right here going. I want to see a T-shirt.
Okay. She's throwing T-shirts. Try and get her to throw a T-shirt down here. Right here. Too bad we can't put the camera on that.
If they just drop it, they just got to drop one. I'm right here, but they're throwing it to the fans. Oh, almost got that one. I'll get one. Here you go. Here you go.
I'm going to do something.
Right here?
Right, hang on, Steve. Keep it out there. Here we go.
All right.
I'm going to catch this.
There you go.
Catch it. If they throw it my way, here you go.
They're throwing them from up there. Right? The chicks are up there. Girls are up there. And they're throwing it. Look at all the peeps.
That's why they can't.
So they can see me. I was right in the swivel of the A from the Braves.
Right. We were in the thing. The people were going nuts. So these are people that paid $75 for a ticket. They all make $100,000 a year to taking a day off from their job, and they lose their minds to get a free T-shirt.
Those free T-shirts
it's always
are
great. You go to a hockey game and you go to a hockey game in Nashville where they paid $120 for the ticket, and they go nuts trying to get a free T-shirt. And it's like, are you really?
I'm going to be going nuts whenever we're talking with RJ because it's been a minute since we've talked to him. So let's hop into a break when we get back. RJ White, Sportsline.com. Some NFL coming your way.
Carrabba's Italian Grill is the best place to enjoy authentic Italian cuisine, passed down from our founders' family recipes. Featuring a wood-burning grill, you can enjoy Carrabba's signature dishes, including chicken brine, wood-fired grilled steak and chops, and classic Italian pasta dishes. Have a special event? Elevate your catering with Carrabba's Catering, the perfect way to enjoy large party portions of your favorite hand-prepared dishes for any event. Carrabba's Italian Grill at Parkway Place, Huntsville.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. If any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today, 256-208-9000, 256-208-9000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Up there it is.
Can you hear us over there? I guess we disconnected. There was a Wi-Fi problem. Either way, welcome back to the Blitz. John Abraham, Thom Abraham, here live at the Yard House in Atlanta. It really has been a party here.
It is a party.
There's a lot going on here. That's why you got to make it out to Atlanta. It's not even too far of a drive. It flew by. I wasn't driving.
2.5 hours from Winchester, where I came out of it. It's about the same, I think. I think it's about the same from Huntsville, depending on what part of Huntsville you're in. It's no more than 2.5 hours being on the north side of Atlanta.
And you don't just have Braves baseball. You also got Atlanta Falcons. And, of course, the Falcons looking to have a little bit more of a positive season. I mean, they thought the same thing last year. But now they got a little bit of younger blood.
Gave them four.
In the backfield.
They gave them 4 primetime games. What does that tell you? 2 Monday night games, or 2 Sunday night games, and 2 Thursday games. So that tells you that the NFL thinks that the Falcons are going to be a thing.
Oh, yeah, they do. But it also means that they're passing on some teams. And I'm surprised we haven't seen anything from the Tennessee Titans in primetime. But maybe they are going to flex a few because they changed that up a little bit going into this year.
You can flex in the second half of the year. You can flex Monday night and Sunday night games in the second half of the season. So that could happen. But I thought they'd do the Titans early because of Cam Ward.
Exactly.
Because by the second half of the season, the Titans are liable to be, they'll be 4-3 9.
Yeah, and I mean, and you want to see that first round pick. I mean, you want to see that guy, the youngest guy, play as soon as he comes in. It's like whenever Bryce Young came into the NFL, you wanted to see him play, and then, well, he wasn't there. But either way, let's hop into the phone lines, the Neighborhood Wealth Management phone lines, and let's talk with RJ because he'll help us out with a little bit more details. RJ, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. And hey, it's been a long time since we got to talk, and that means a lot of things have probably changed in the NFL. Of course, we're halfway through the offseason now. We look forward to more football. We already have lines out for week 1. What does this mean? I'm looking at Sportsline right now. We already got lines out. How reliable do you think these lines are? Even though we're talking about your site right now, how do you even really base these lines off of it?
Yeah, well, what we show is the lines at all the sports books, and of course, once they know a matchup and a time that it's going to take place, they throw the line up and let people bet on it. Now, they're not going to have high limits right now, and people aren't going to rush to bet a game that's 4 months away. So you're not going to see a ton of action. You do know that these lines are going to move during the summer as people start to bet them. Some things start to solidify. So if you are an aggressive sports bettor, you don't consider yourself just a casual fan, this is a good time to attack these week 1 lines because you're going to get a better number right now than you are going to in August and definitely in the few days leading up to week 1.
And that's kind of what I was thinking about. If you get in on these lines earlier, is there chances for you to make more money? And of course, there's a lot of games, and there's some that have some big spreads. One of them that I'm looking at right now, and this isn't even week 1, but the Browns versus the Ravens. It is 12 and a half
They're the biggest home dog. I mean, home dogs are always live. It's not. Is it 12 and a half? I saw 6
12 and a half in favor of the
ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Is that right, RJ? 12 and a half? Cleveland's getting at home?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you're talking about the week 2 game, right?
Yeah.
Where it's in Baltimore. So
Yep.
It's 12 and a half in Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, you're going off of these. So if somebody places a bet on this, all right, they're making more money than if they place it closer to the NFL season's beginning.
Yeah, so let's take the opener, for example, right? Cowboys versus Eagles. I have that line that should be 10, is in my opinion. The books open it at 7. FanDuel has it at 6.5. That 6.5 number, I don't think there's any way that's available into August and September. So if you're like me and you think the Eagles should be bigger favorites in that game, you bet the 6.5 now. If you wait until August or September, you're probably going to be playing 8.5, 9 at least, maybe even higher. So that's where these numbers are a big deal, right? That's where you make your money. Because anytime I say I like a team at 6.5, I like a team plus this, I'm really just going for percentages in my head, and I think the percentage that they cover is higher than the books do. So 6.5. I mean, if I think that's a 60-65% chance.
Week 2, the Ravens. I was looking at week 1, the 6.5 for the Bengals at Cleveland. What about that opening night game? All the hoopla surrounding that, the Eagles and getting their rings and so on. We get that opener. I don't know what kind of a trend that there is for how these home teams do, these defending Super Bowl champions do at home. But they announced the Cowboys, and about 10 minutes after that came out, they announced that the Cowboys were getting 7.5 in that one. What's your take on that number? What way do you think that'll move?
Yeah, like I was saying, I think it should be 10. I think it's going to move up. I think if you have the money to invest now, I would put 6.5 at FanDuel right now, 7 at other places. I think that's okay. But I think that all those numbers are going to move up. The home team tends to win in those games. I believe it was the Lions-Chiefs game a few years ago where that was kind of the surprise. And that was kind of signaling that the Lions were better than everybody anticipated. I don't really put the Cowboys in that class. I know they got George Pickens. I think the head coach might probably one of the least ones to back in the league, least confident ones to back in the league. They're going to be pretty conservative. I think it's going to take them a little while to get going. It's great that they have Dak. So, if you want to play devil's advocate, you'd say, well, what was this number, last year when the Eagles were at the top of their ascension and the Cowboys were playing backup quarterbacks? It was probably only 10, right? So maybe my number is a little aggressive there. I just think these Eagles have proven in the playoffs they are very good. They're one of the most complete teams in the league, and I would make them more than 7 against the Cowboys team I don't think is making the playoffs.
RJ Young from CBS Sportsline, or RJ White, I should say, from CBS Sportsline with us here. All right, so RJ, clearly the NFL is betting on Aaron Rodgers being the quarterback of the Steelers on opening day. They put him in the Meadowlands against the Jets. And right now, the Steelers are a 3-point favorite over the Jets. They got to be thinking that Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. Is there an opportunity there if you want to kind of gamble on whether or not Aaron Rodgers is going to be there? Because I think if Aaron Rodgers is not there and the Jets are at home and they got Justin Fields against Mason Rudolph, I think the Jets would be favored in that game by a couple of points.
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw that line. I had that line at Pick'em. I thought it would be a Pick'em, just in the situation of Aaron Rodgers wasn't that good. I mean, the Jets were a very bad team last year, and it's not like Aaron Rodgers elevated their play. Justin Fields played well for the Steelers before they went to Russell Wilson. Now it looks like those quarterbacks are going to be flipped for week one. So it's interesting that a Steelers team that typically in these spots as road favorites don't play very well. They tend to do very well as short home favorites and as dogs, especially home dogs. When you get a good team coming in, they will upset that team and they will play very, very well. So that's when you back them. This is not a spot where you tend to put back the Steelers. Yeah, I was pretty surprised to see that. I think the Jets are one of the best bets of week one, just looking at the odds right now, because like I said, I think that line should be close to a pick 'em, even if it's Aaron Rodgers. And like you said, if it's not Aaron Rodgers, if you're starting Will Howard, if you're starting Mason Rudolph, the Jets should be favored in that game.
RJ, what lines do we have? Because obviously it's already early to see these week one lines, but I mean, there's got to be something out for Super Bowl. Is there any favorites that are really sticking out to you right now?
Yeah, well, the books, I don't know if they have them all posted now. They're going to post lines for every game that you'll be able to bet early. I think I'm scrolling through DraftKings right now, and it looks like they do have them all posted because they have power rating numbers for all these games. They have home field numbers for every team. They know about what the spread should be, so they'll post them all. A lot of people aren't going to take action on them. You'll get the very savvy professional bettors who disagree with the market on certain teams. Will look for those matchups that those teams face each other, and they'll put some max bets on them right now, and that'll indicate to the sports books where they might be a little wrong on teams, based on the people that are making money off them, what their opinion is. But if you look at the Super Bowl, you're going to get these futures that have been out really before the last Super Bowl. They put next year's Super Bowl odds out before that comes out. So you get the Eagles are obviously the favorite. You get the Bills, Ravens, and Chiefs pretty tightly grouped together behind them. And then after that, it's a little bit of people think the Lions will still be good. And then you're just questioning, will the 49ers bounce back? Are the Commanders for real? Those type of things. So what I do know is that I think 11 of the last 12 years, the Super Bowl winner has been no worse than plus 1,200 to win. So it's basically one of the top, 4 or 5 favorites ever. So if you are looking to play a team, that's fun to talk about, like the sleeper potential of the Packers, which the team actually bet very early in February. I thought they would have a good offseason, and they had a very strong core. And still like that, but like the champion tends to come from those top 5 teams. So I would say, if you're playing it right now, pick your favorite between the Bills, Ravens, and Chiefs. That's probably where you're going to get the most value.
Yeah, it's kind of a misnomer. People think that baseball is very top heavy in the NFL. Anybody can win. It's really not. We've seen baseball World Series champions come, from the middle of the pack some in years past, and the NFL sometimes gets really, really top heavy. Plus, you got half of the playoff teams. Who's the Commanders next year, right? Who is going to be one of these teams? Half the playoff always turns over, so it's kind of fun to try and figure out which ones are like that. RJ, let's get off the NFL just for a minute. I got to ask you about Alabama in Tallahassee against Florida State. Alabama looks like their quarterback's Ty Simpson. Florida State looking for a big bounce back. Alabama's a 9.5-point favorite right now in Tallahassee. Is that a sucker bet? Is that a sucker number?
I'm not too, I'm not really a college football betting expert. I do see 12.5 at DraftKings right now. So I think depending on where you want to play it, you're going to get a big spread on that. But yeah, it seems like playing on the road in week one against what's typically been a good team. I know they're probably not projected to be this year. I wouldn't lay that many points really with any team on the road in the first matchup of the season. So yeah, if you're playing it, as a casual college bettor, I would probably look to Florida State, but that's about all I can give you on that one.
All right. Well, if you will stick with the NFL, I was going to ask you. About tomorrow night. I know you're going to fuck. I was going to ask you about tomorrow night. The Knicks are a 2.5-point favorite over the Celtics, but I guess we won't go down that path. One other one. Talk to us about the Tennessee Titans. They will go to Denver. They're getting 7.5 week 1 at Denver. Of course, Cam Ward expected to be the quarterback there. Bo Nix, he's from our region. It'll be his second year. What about the Titans getting a little more than a touchdown on the road?
Yeah, that one's interesting. I think it should be a little higher. I would not be surprised if it goes up a little bit. Just these week 1 quarterbacks, especially like you said on the road, you don't tend to have a lot of faith in. And then Denver historically, week 1 and 2 tend to do really, really well at home because they're conditioned more for that altitude, where these other teams who, you're obviously not going try to go on and you play in Denver in week 1 and 2, and it's very hard to overcome. So I think that's going to be a bit of a problem for Tennessee. I think Denver's probably going to run away with that matchup. So I'm going to be looking to get a 7 in the market, hopefully. And if I could play a 7, love Denver at that number. If 7.5 is all that's available, I'm probably still going to back Denver.
RJ White from sportsline.com is our guest. And RJ, you got to be patient with us. It has been a hectic day out here. We are at Truist Park in the Battery, right next to the Yard House. We have a rotating umbrella that you got to kind of keep an eye out for. You got a lot of fans. There's a lot of noise that the band's playing and all that good stuff. But we're still talking NFL because this is the league that people really want back. And one thing that people really want to know is Jalen Milroe up in Seattle. Have you heard anything about how he has kind of gotten acquainted to the Western Coast?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's obviously very, very early. I think he was at a very good rookie minicamp. But it's something where he's going to have to build his case there because Sam Darnold was obviously brought in to be the starter. Seattle thinks that they have a competitive team. They weren't that terrible last year. I thought they were going to be better. But it's obviously first year for that coach. I think he's going to be a lot better in his second round. So I think, that's the type of organization that could fall in love with a guy like Jalen Milroe. They obviously drafted him for a reason. And I think he could definitely outplay Sam Darnold in camp once they both get in there because Darnold is what he is, very good if you put him in the right system, which we saw in Minnesota. But, he's been a journeyman since then. And I think Jalen Milroe has some potential. So be interesting to see if he's able to get on the field early. I know Seattle had a very similar situation back in the day with bringing in a guy. And then Russell Wilson, as a third-round pick, took the job that was supposed to be for the free agent, Matt Flynn, I believe it was, and ran away with it. We all know what happened after that. So I bet they're trying to recreate that magic there with that pick.
And RJ, you got to talk about the schedule releases, of course, the videos that have come out. Have you dabbled into any of this, or have you got into the trend of these schedule release videos?
Yeah, I saw the Titans one. I thought it was very well done. It was a very good concept there, and especially like the part where they're rattling through the side effects and they're flashing the teams that they're playing up on the board. I thought that was very creative. So that was kind of like my winner of this cycle. I haven't seen them all, but I really like what they did there. I thought whoever's the social media manager, they had a great idea on that one.
And I feel like they've been doing it right for the last few years. Of course, they kind of tried to find gold in the same spot. Last year, 2 years in a row, they went downtown and had people talk about the teams and say their names and all of that. But I will agree with you. I liked the Titans. I thought theirs was pretty good. Did you see any the Seahawks one where they go like throwback to these action figure commercials and they're showing off all of these different toys? I like these ones. I like the ones that go back to pop culture and things that really just like reach to my nostalgia.
Yeah, anytime you can activate somebody's nostalgia, it's great. People are going to buy into that full force if they have any connection with it whatsoever. So I think that's also a smart play to do there is why try to reinvent the wheel when there's things that people love so much about the past that you can kind of key in on, especially when it's not something that you're creating something super original that has to stand on its own, like a TV show, a movie. You're just doing this for a social media post. Why don't you play on that? And I think you're gonna hit it out of the park pretty frequently there.
I thought the Cowboys was pretty good. It was pretty fun. I thought the Buccaneers, similar to the Seahawks, celebrating the 50th year. I thought John Gruden was on something. I mean, he's so energetic every single time. And I don't even know really like how's he related with that organization at this time around? Is he a part of the staff? Like what exactly is going on with that? I might have missed it during the off season.
Who are you talking about? Gruden?
For John Gruden, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's just with a media company right now. I mean, he might, do consulting work with staff, but I don't think he's on the staff right now.
Okay. I didn't know if he was getting back into coaching or anything like that after his time with the Ravens. But either way, RJ, had a lot of fun talking with you, man. Next time we get together to have a conversation, though, it will be a little bit calmer. It'll be a little bit easier to focus on one thing because I got 1,000 things right now behind me. But I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, man. Let the people know where they can find all of your information as well as all the lines that they need to know to bet on.
You can find my work at CBS Sports and Sportsline, where we also have a Discord set up for the betting community to share picks and sweat games and all that great stuff and talk to our Sportsline experts there. So you can find all my stuff there. I'm on Blue Sky at RJ White1 if you want to check me out there. And I just want to say go Braves.
There you go. Go Braves. And I'll keep you updated on how this one goes. Hopefully we can get back to 500 yet again. But either way, RJ, wonderful day, man. Have a great one, and I look forward to talking to you next. Good stuff, as always, rjwhitesportsline.com. We're getting close to the end of the show here. Steve, I'm looking to you for my time because Tom just totally gave up on me.
Stranded, huh?
He totally gave up on me, but it's fine. I mean, I've had plenty of great conversations with RJ, but, going off of the schedule release videos, did you catch any of them? I mean, are you a guy that gets hyped up for these schedule release videos?
I am the wrong demographic. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. I mean, it's 2016 they brought these things in.
Oh, no. Don't get me wrong. Several of them have been clever back in the day. It's just not my time.
Not your jam? Well, I love editing videos. I love putting things together. I love being creative. And I will say I have a little list because I was watching them on the trip here.
Yeah.
I felt like John Gruden might have been on some crack. I'm going to be real with you. He was really? Absolutely wild. He is always such a bizarre
was the
dude.
Schedule in a box that he had to open it out of a box.
He was pulling it out of a box.
Was
a bunch
he really?
of different things. He was. It was his little. I don't know if it's Gruden's barstool like corner or whatever, but he's always pulling things out of boxes.
Got people giving
like a
him
Lonely
free
Island.
stuff. Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a Lonely Island music video.
Is it terrible? Is there any editing that needs to be done?
No, sir. He is wild. If I were you, the drive later tonight.
This thing freaking heavy. 50 years. 50th Tampa Bay Buccaneers season. 50. They got weapons, man. This is not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is the two-time world champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers, baby. And they got weapons just like I have right here. Baker Mayfield, Bucky Irving, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Tristan Wirfs, Gedeke. How about Levante David, Antoine freaking Winfield?
Come on.
Weapons, man. Weapons. The two-time world champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 50th season. Think I'm excited? I'm almost shaking like I was before Super Bowl 37. I mean, this is exciting, man. Look at this. 50th season of Tampa Bay Buccaneer football. I was here for 7 of them. 7. It's got me feeling nicey. Oh, hey, look what's in this box. I know the Buccaneers play the Los Angeles Rams. There's head coach Sean McVay. He coached for me. He was on my staff in Tampa. When I watch McVay, he's wearing a lot of medium-sized shirts, fancy, younger coaching gear, those pants they wear with the tight bottoms. So I got a nice extra large coaching shirt for Coach McVay and the Rams to wear because we're coming for you. Look at this. The Arizona Cardinals. When I think of the Arizona Cardinals, I think of Thomas Jones. We traded for Thomas Jones. He played great for us. Tampa Bay.
He's talking about games that are happening in the middle of the season.
Oh,
He's not even doing them in order.
No, there was no order to it. This guy, he was feeling icy, all right. He was feeling like something.
Damian freaking Rice.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He is so bizarre. And that was the one that really stuck out to me. I also think Jacksonville did a really good one where they got my boy Ashton Hall, all right? I don't know if you've seen any of his social media videos or any of the spoofs of what he does, but he's the guy that gets the Saratoga water, puts it in a bowl, puts it in some ice, puts his face in there. He's got his whole morning routine. And I'm just going to say this. He got viral for a little bit. I actually like what he does because it might be sometimes a little unrealistic. The guy's absolutely jacked. He's who I want to be, honestly. But at the same time, I think it's cool. So shout out to my boy Ashton Hall for being in the Jacksonville Jaguars video. New England Patriots did something simple, something fun. It was like a YouTube video of people trying to keep their eggs nice and neat. Doesn't have any correlation to anything that is football, but regardless, it was pretty fun. I gotta admit, it was like a Mr. Beast video or something like that. We got to see Brenda. What is it? What's her name? It's the girl from Sweet Life of Zach and Cody's. Brenda Song. That's her name. This one was fun. This was getting into. There was the beginning of this list. There was a lot of awkward acting, and it just didn't feel natural. But then you start getting into the Rams. You start getting into some of the Washington Commanders. I got pumped for the Washington Commanders one. This was all like Roller Coaster Tycoon, and every different exhibit that they had was a different team. And it was in order. I loved it. I think any of the ones that tried to connect it to video games was great. The Cleveland Browns one made absolutely no sense whatsoever, but the editing was really cool. There was a lot of like, slow motion. They cracked an egg at one point. I don't know why they thought it was pretty good. On top of that, the Falcons one. You need to watch. Did you ever play Mario Kart?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you watch the Falcons schedule release? I feel like you got it. Out of all of them, you got to watch the Falcons schedule release. I'm guessing that's a no.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got distracted.
Select back.
This is the Atlanta Falcon video that we're sampling. Luda. Freddie the Falcon. Okay. All right.
No, yeah, it's not as good as the John Gruden one for the on-air presentation of it. But I will say this: watching that one, it's probably got to be the best one to watch. I mean, that one's great. I brought it up. The Seattle Seahawks one's pretty funny. It's an action figure commercial. It's supposed to be from like the 80s and stuff like that. It talks about the relevancy of the last time the 49ers were relevant, which, by the way, the 49ers did a video game one. It was like the Golden Trail. And, I mean, it was another video game one, so I was kind of excited for it. And then with the Bills, I thought the Bills would be better. I'm going to be real with it. The Bills' social media team is absolutely amazing. They do these really dank memes that make absolutely no sense, but they're still fun. What they do is they get AI to release the schedule. And obviously, the higher-ups at the Bills staff don't know what AI is. The only AI they know is Allen Iverson. And they get Allen Iverson to release the schedule. And I was like, oh, that's funny. It's a one-hit chuckle. It's not like there's not a bunch of turnarounds that make you chuckle.
Well,
but
we do have
it's pretty
Smokey
good.
Mike on the line if you want to take that phone call.
Smokey Mike, you are the next man up. We're about to get out of here. What's up, my brother?
Oh, my sweet Jesus. I just called in to find out first who was at the helm and tell them that I feel for them for what they are listening to and having to deal with this whole time, because this radio that I have heard the last hour and a half is completely nuts and insane and just go off the rails. And whoever is controlling at the helm, I just wanted to tell them I feel for them. I see them, and I appreciate that they've at least got some semblance of control, because how are we going to do a video on radio?
Look, there's a lot of it. This is what it is to be on a remote.
There's Smokey Mike.
This is how it is to be on a remote. And also, I will say the Atlanta Falcons video was a little much.
But still talking, by the way.
Gruden
Old, rugged AstroTurf right here in the Astrodome. Well, they got a brand new stadium. But I don't care what surface they play on.
He just keeps talking. Some of them were too long. But I will say this. This whole edition of the Blitz has been very zany, very wacky. At one point, there were T-shirts falling from the sky. There was a band playing behind us. We got Braves baseball coming up. The show's not even going to go the full 2 hours. Tom left me halfway through.
You know what?
And
maybe, before I go, let me just say this. I'm grateful that I was able to teach you some certain things, and one of them was you got to learn that when it goes off the rails, just let it fly and let it be and let it do. And it's been radio, but it's been radio that like you can't turn away from. So I got to say that I mean, I just had to put those comments in, man. I wanted to say it to just whoever was at Mission Control, but thank you.
Thank you, Smokey Mike. Did we lose you, John? How about this for going off the rails? I believe I'm looking. It says you're connected, brother. Well, alrighty then. We have obviously lost the connection with John Abraham. But John Gruden's still talking, boys and girls.
Doug Williams, the history of quarterbacks in Tampa Bay. Wait till you see Mayfield. Wait till you see the real Baker Mayfield. Let's go, Bucks. What a box.
So what a box indeed. And what a show, as we certainly do appreciate you joining in for the morning show as well as the Blitz. Braves baseball comes up next. It's Braves and Nationals coming up today. Let's see here. It's A.J. Smith-Shawver on the mound for the Atlanta Braves. And for the Washington Nationals, Trevor Williams on the mound. Coverage starts up right after this final timeout. It's the Blitz right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job.
Licensed in all states will work as before. See website for detail.
Hey there, everybody. Bob Baumhauer here, letting you know that we understand that times are tough and we truly believe value matters. So, by popular demand, we brought back our Inflation Bites menu featuring scratch-made meals that will make the whole family smile. And you're